64,000 Albertans live with the lung disease COPD, yet only 1,000 have access to the appropriate rehabilitation. But what if they could just sing, and that could help? Well, that's what a new program, the first of its kind in Canada, is all about, and it's launching right here in Calgary. Here to tell us all about it is physiotherapist Jessica Demars and professional voice teacher Rachel Goldenberg. Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Jessica, let's just start with you. First of all, what is COPD?
So COPD is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and it is a little bit of an umbrella term for a few other diseases that fall underneath it. But basically what happens is it's very difficult to breathe. We have inflammation in the airways, we have increased secretions or mucus. It essentially leads to a very poor quality of life, eventually requiring oxygen, and people die.
And people die,
yeah.
Wow. So this is something that really has an impact, as you said, on quality of life, but yet there isn't a lot of access to rehabilitation, is there?
No. So 64,000 people in Alberta have COPD. It's the #1 reason for hospitalizations in Alberta. 1 in 3 return to the hospital without pulmonary rehab, and yet we only have access to about 1,000 people are able to access the services.
So this is why the two of you thought, well, let's get creative about this. What can we do? So how would singing help? Rachel, tell us a little bit about that.
So singing is a fun way to essentially do pulmonary rehab. So in singing, we inhale very deeply, and we follow that with a very controlled exhalation. And depending on the demands of the music, whether it's a short staccato phrase or a very long phrase, we have to exercise the respiratory system in different varying ways. And the best part of it is that usually people don't know that they're exercising as they do it. But across the board, the research shows us that singing strengthens the respiratory muscles, it provides better control over the respiratory system, and we always find an improvement in quality of life. So things like vitality, general sense of well-being, control, mood. Singing can help with depressive symptoms. There's a lot of benefits that have been well established and well studied. So it's sort of a no-brainer that we do this.
Right, and it totally makes sense. So this is why you've developed this program. So tell us about the program specifically, Jessica.
So it's a 13-week program. We start off with a session with me, with a physiotherapist, and we go through kind of a little bit about the lung disease, because it is open to anyone with lung disease. Again, that's 600,000 Albertans with lung disease. So we talk a little bit about lung disease. We go through how to breathe better at rest, during activity. What are some strategies you can do? We talk about posture, because that plays a role in it. We talk about energy management, all of those kinds of things that kind of, I guess, set the basis for what they're then going to be doing in the singing program. So they do a session with me, and then there's 12 weeks of singing classes, and on some of them, Rachel and I will work together just to kind of really cement home the things that the participants are learning. And it's an hour session for, again, 13 weeks total. We have been blessed with a grant from the Lung Association, Alberta and Northwest Territories Division. They feel that this is something that is worthwhile funding. Their mission is to, of course, support research and prevention and support for people with lung disease. So we've got funding for that. So we're really excited about that. And we are using this as a pilot project. We'll be measuring outcome measures so that in the future this could be a fully funded program that's available.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Now here we've got some details for you on the actual program itself. So it starts in December, and it's a 13-week program. Starts December 2nd, 10 to 11 a.m. And how much does it cost, Rachel?
With the generosity of the Lung Association, we are able to provide this at a very low cost of $175 for the full 13 weeks.
The full 13 weeks. Wonderful. That's so great. Thank you so much for telling us all about it. Good luck with the course, and please come back and let us know what you find.
Yeah, you bet.